It's Suzanne from www.eft-scripts.com, and today I'm tapping for I want to say I'm tapping for bad news, okay? Because I'm expecting bad news. But it could be good news. Just to give you a bit of a background, and I have to be cagey because it's a private thing. I can't discuss all the details, but basically I have experience with other people who have done before what I'm trying to do right now. There's a 1 out of 3 chance that it's successful on the first attempt. And so I've been through all the paperwork in the first attempt. It took 3 months out of my life. It was hell. It was real hell. Where every day after doing a full day's work, I would sit down for 3 hours and do 3 hours of paperwork. And finally submitted all that paperwork, and what awaits me at the post office is the result. I expect the result to be negative because statistically 1 out of 3 first attempts are unsuccessful. So this is where I am. I'm not tapping to force myself to believe that the statistics don't need to apply to me. I know what the statistics are. It's a fact. 1 out of 3 chance that I'm successful. 2 out of 3 chance that I've been unsuccessful. If I had the money, I would subcontract it to someone to do, but I'm not in that situation. And what I have in front of me here, I can't show you the details of that letter. I'm going to hide it. So that you will see. This is the post office slip in front of me, and whenever I look at it, it brings up all that energy disruption to the surface. And if you've just had bad news yourself, or if you're expecting bad news, or you're fearing bad news, whether real or otherwise, you might want to tap along with me. So on a scale from 10 to 0, my heart is beating, my breath is a bit constricted, and I can feel it in my shoulders, in my neck, in my throat, and it's all constricting me like a cobra. It's an 8, maybe 7.5. So even though I'm expecting this bad news, and I dread walking out of that post office with the bad news in my hand, but having to tell other people the bad news, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I dread receiving this bad news myself, and I dread giving this bad news to other people. It's all dread, it's all horrible. I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I dread this bad news and everything it reminds me of, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I dread this bad news and everything that it also means, and having to go through it 2 more times statistically to get it right, I deeply love and accept myself. This bad news, 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 this bad news. As you can see, by the way, I'm still wearing several layers. This is how upset I am. I've just come in from outside. It's a cold winter's day here in Cape Town, and I've got all my layers on. I haven't even relaxed, taken the clothes off, got into my clinic clothes and started the day that way. I haven't even managed to do that. I was just so uptight about this potential bad news. As I look, it's interesting, this is interesting. I'm looking now at this. Let's hide the details again. Okay, I'm now looking at this slip from the post office. And it registers a 5.5, which is less. And I'm getting the insight that, you know what, if it's bad news, there's nothing I can do about it right now. Let me have a look as I'm tapping. I'm just going to make some plans, okay? I'm going to look in my diary and see for Monday. I'm also trying to be cagey because I know I've got some client notes in there that I was intending to work on. Okay, Monday, I just don't have time to go get it. This is not good. I can't get it today because in this country you have to have your passport or a signed copy of your passport if you want to do it. Unless you're South African, then you have an ID number which you remember and you have to present your ID with you at all times. Well, my passport is with my passport agent, with my visa agent, so I can't get hold of my passport today. And I stupidly had taken my passport copy back home, so I don't have it with me. And I thought I had it with me, but I don't. So I have to go home, get a copy of my passport and bring it here, and there is no way I can do that today. Tomorrow I am fully booked. The day after is Sunday. The next possible day is Monday. Okay, Monday. There's a client that would owe me a favor. So I can pull that favor on Monday and ask that client to come a little bit later. And then I can get it on Monday. Or maybe I can get it today. I can get someone else to get it today. There's nothing else I can do about that. I think I'm going to have to ask someone for help. I can't do this on my own. No, I can. Tuesday. Tuesday is the next day I have available, and this thing is available to when? They normally give you 2 weeks. So Tuesday, I'm actually here. I can see that now. It's so clear. I can see that. And I couldn't see it. When I first started tapping, I couldn't see it. Now I'm looking at the slip. Which I'll see if I can gently raise it. Yes, there it is. I'm looking at the slip, and it registers a 4.25. So let's get a pen. Tuesday. This is absolutely excellent. Tuesday I've got my last appointment, which I'm doing my home Skype office, 10. It finishes at 11:30, which means I can be in town by 1:30. Two o'clock, I pick it up. Because 1:30 in the post office is a complete waste of time. You just stand in a long queue forever, whichever country you're in. So pick up from post office. This is great. And now I'm gonna get, let's see. Oh, yes, this. I'm gonna get this registered letter. doesn't work doing it on Monday. It's just too complicated. What I'm going to do... I'm going to staple it to the page. Yeah. I can do it on Tuesday. What I don't like is that between now and Tuesday, I might be dreading the bad news, about which I can't do anything. If it's bad news, it just means that for 3 whole months, every day after work, no. If it's bad, if it's bad news, it means that somebody else will have to do it this time, not me. And other people that are involved will are incentivized enough, they're nice enough, they're hardworking enough, they're willing enough, and they're eager enough. There's no reason for me to do it again. Somebody else can do it, and we can take turns doing it until it's done, and that's fine. I'm not working on my own. I'm working in a company. That makes it so much easier. Gosh, it's gone down to 1. Let me have a look at that piece of paper again. Okay. Let's see. I'm being careful not to show you my diary. Oh, here's the whole. Okay, let's start. Even though I was so worried I'd have to do it all over again, I was so worried there was going to be disappointment, I was so worried it's going to be really bad news, we're finding ways around it. We are working as a team. One of our team members has already found a way around this. So we don't actually even need to complete this task just yet. I'm working as part of a team. I'm working as part of a company. That's okay. That's cool. I'm not on my own. What's coming to me is I worked as self-employed on my own, sole trader, for several years, and I became sole trader earlier than I had intended in order to please someone. That was pre-EFT days. And I didn't have the right advice because I didn't know anyone who'd done what I'd done who could advise me. The people who could advise me didn't know about the industry, so therefore they could give me the right advice. The people in the industry gave me the wrong advice. So I learned the hard way a lot of things, and it took me 3 years to break even, and I worked really hard, and I made a lot of mistakes, and I think part of it is that treacherous, oh my God, I'm doing this again, but I'm not. Even though I have all these memories of being a sole trader who has to do everything themselves, and I can now remember that I'm working as part of a company on this particular thing, and I do have help. And the other people are not even helping me as such. They're not helpers, they're equals. Gosh. And I can relax. I'm not, hey, there's nothing special about me in the company. There's no reason why I should take it upon myself to do this again. So if it's bad news, that's fine. And one of the other members of the company has also found a solution to get around this particular problem for now anyway, and so we don't even need to solve it yet. And I'm looking at the clock because on this particular computer it doesn't upload to YouTube if it's at some 15 minutes, and we're going to run out. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. I've got to go now, and it's very near a 0, and it shall be continued.